Only on SportsGrid.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Frank the Tank very concerned with some of the conversations that have been going on in the breaks here on the show on a Thursday. We, however, are used to it. He is very determined to change the course of some of the conversations that have been going on. So we'll move on to tonight's NBA games, the double offering this evening in Boston and OKC. By the way, as you know, Carver High, the Young Guns' favorite team since he came out of his mother's womb has been the Thunder for whatever reason. I literally have outside the studio right now a Thunder flag the size of a wall hanging in my rec room.
Wasn't that originally he was a Thunder fan because of Durant and Westbrook and Harden when that when that threesome was there? That was when he was a young kid, and obviously young kids gravitate to the stars, and the Thunder had young stars back then. So that's where all of that matriculated, right? Back in the day.
And he likes them even more now.
So there you go. Hey, look, the Thunder faithful will be happy. They got one of their own here in the New York City area in the Young Gun taking care of business. But let's start in Boston tonight for a game number 2 between the Cavs and the Celtics. Game 1, I guess you could say, Scotty, as expected, Cavs kind of hung around the number through 3 quarters. Celtics pulled away in the 4th. We've got another juicy number tonight, 13.5 for Boston. 212.5 is the total here.
Well, what's great about this game is that I wouldn't watch if you paid me because I'll be watching the Canes and Rangers. I hate the Celtics dead. And the fact that I feel like I'm going to end up having to watch the Celtics beat the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Final for whatever that's worth. I still feel like that's going to happen, and that's not going to go well with my nerves, stress, or my organs. I feel injuries are coming right around the corner doing push-ups. I hate the Celtics dead, but I still think they're going to kick the Cavs' ass. I have felt not one inch, not one iota of respect for this Cleveland team at all. I mean, they could barely beat Orlando. If it wasn't for Mitchell, they wouldn't have beat them. I think the rest of that team's just filled with hacks, and they're dead. They're just dead meat. I mean, this is, you know what this is? I used to play with Blackjack, the great outdoor hoop legend in New York City. Blackjack's been on the show many times. A street ball legend, and he calls players that have no ability to stop him fresh meat. That's what the Cavaliers are to the Celtics, fresh meat. They have no chance against them. No chance.
They really don't have any chance against them, and that's why I'm not going to lie. Like I got no juice for this series.
No interest.
Or any games between these two. I just don't. I mean, whatever. Will the Cavs win a game? Maybe, probably not.
Who cares?
I don't even think they'll win a game. For me, it's just I'll see the Celtics next round. It's like a scrimmage almost for this stuff. The Celtics are 5-0 straight up and 4-1 against the spread as double-digit favorites. I mean, they've been double-digit favorites in every game so far throughout the playoffs. So I'm sure that it will continue on tonight.
There's only one game worth watching tonight. It's the second game, and it's because they're fun to watch. That young team, and I've said this a number of times, they're the perfect age, the perfect price. Sam Presti, to me, is a genius. He has figured out how to build a championship caliber team with young, draftable talent that you pay what they're worth and nothing more. All these teams like the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat, and we'll go on and on. I can sit here all day and do this. That pay all these guys tons of money, and they never win. And all they do is give them, and all they want is more and more and more and more. I would no more be interested in. Like people are telling me, like I heard today the conversation, the Knicks need to get KD. Like they need cancer. Like they need lymphoma is what they need this guy for. He's another one. Everyone's out to get him. Social media members, everyone hates him. Like, go cry to your mommy. Like, honestly, I love young players that are paid handsomely to be in a world they've never known before. The NBA, the life of privilege. And you don't make more than you're worth, and you play your ass off because it's fun. That's the only team I want. And I want no part of any. Like, you remember when they were saying to me that they want Durant back on the Thunder? Here's another one. I want to get hit in the head with a baseball bat walking in Hell's Kitchen. Walking down the street, I want someone to smash my face in with a baseball bat before I want that guy to ruin that team. Like, he went out, everything he touches, he ruins. He ruined the Nets. He ruined the Suns. They never blame him for anything. He's like, I ball, man. That's all I do is ball. I just ball. These media people saying I'm not tough Eddie all the time. All these social media, all this noise. I just ball. I'll be ready. I never played defense a day in my life. I scored 35 a night. I never defended anybody in my life. I get the ball stolen from me every time I put the ball in debt. Just give me more money. I just want more money. I'm a philanthropist. By the way, my daughter the other day played him. He's now a rapper, too. Did you know that? He's on some new rap album singing. And I was like, really? Oh, Jesus Christ. I have seen it all. Now he's a rapper, too. This guy Durant's now doing rap albums. Okay. What's next? Movies?
He said in that end-of-season press conference, I got other interests outside, but I still love the hoop. So he's
a philanthropist. He's a philanthropist.
Before I get there, in case you want to get involved or anybody else does, the most bet player props for that first game, Garland over 15.5, Jaylen Brown under 25.5. He had 32 in game one. Derek White under 3.5 threes. He's had like 7 in every playoff game so far. Jason Tatum over 9.5 boards and Jaylen Brown over 2.5 assists, the most bet player props for the Cavs and the Celtics.
So I'm going to start with this. Garland under, Brown over, White over, Tatum over, and I went no part of number 5. So I did 1 through 4 for you. And I can hit a lot more props on that game for you if you really want. Can we do how about a Tatum PRA? How about I'm going to go, how about White points over? How about Brown points and rebounds over? What don't they do, this team? Christ, I'll throw Pritchard in for an over in points. He'll come on and get some burn and score about 15 points. I'll bet that guy comes off the bench and scores more than Garland.
That would not surprise me either, especially since they're going to blow them out, and he's probably going to get a lot of burn at the end. All right, second game, as you mentioned, in OKC. Thunder looking to go up 2-0 on the Mavs after beating them up in the second half in game number 1. Let's start with Jason Kidd, Mavericks head coach, looking for some adjustments, Scotty, after game number 1.
Yeah, I think we got some great looks that didn't go down for us.
Like
our pace was probably a little slower than we wanted it to be. And then we have to rebound the ball, just understanding that defensively and offensively, we didn't do a good job. And so just understanding game 2, we have to be better at that. Yeah, if it was just one game, then we would be out. So it's a series. We're on the road. We lost game 1. We have to learn from that. And we have to be better in game 2.
Bumping.
They got smoked. They got smoked.
They did get smoked. But they got smoked, and I'll give you the numbers when we come back. They got smoked, Scotty, because Luka was like dragging his leg around for the last 2.5 quarters. Like it was doing. I think Coach told me yesterday he's like 5 of his last 32 from 3. Like 5 of 32 from 3.
He's shooting 22%
in his last 2 games. You can't have that. I mean, for them to win, he's got to score 30-plus points. It just is what it is. He's got to get 30 points. He's got to get 11 dimes. He's got to get 10 boards. That's what he needs.
So he's working on his Oscar speech for next year. Did you see him get tripped the other night by himself and then lay on the floor and pretend like his foot was injured? And he looked at the ref and he was like, you see what they did to my foot? Did you see? And you don't call that. Meanwhile, his fat ass tripped over his own foot. No one touched him, and he didn't injure his foot at all. His injury is his knee, so he's trying to learn how to manipulate the refs with his phony injuries and his fat ass falling down, tripping on himself.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring them back, they can be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High, game 2 tonight in OKC between the Mavs and the Young Thunder.
That's it. They will play game 2 tonight. It will be the second game, 9:30 p.m. East, right after the Celtics and the Cavs. 4.5 is the number here, Scotty. 218.5 is our total.
Yeah, I can't get off of them. I can't get off the Thunder at this point. And what I'm seeing, the problem with Luka is pretty obvious. Now, I won't be surprised at all if he goes out tonight and lights it up, because just when you think you got that guy dead and buried, he'll start knocking down shots. And when he's on, I mean, the rim's the size of the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, this guy will spray him in from anywhere. So, but I really believe that if Dallas were to win this game, it'd be because of Kyrie Irving tonight. The other guy's cold as ice and injured. It's obvious he's got problems, but Irving doesn't have any problems. So it's time for Kyrie to take over the game. If they want to go back to Dallas ones, he's got to be the man tonight. But I think this team is too tough in their building. I mean, that was a tight game the other night until the Thunder just started getting loose and they started running and they started dunking and they started popping threes from all over the place and getting good looks and easy shots and floaters. And Shai Gilgeous is driving to the 10 and getting and ones. I mean, when they get going in that building, forget about it. It's another den of iniquity. Anyone that goes in there is losing.
I mean, there was a point in that fourth quarter, Scotty, I said the other day, like it felt like they were taking people off the stands hitting threes in the corner. I hadn't even heard of some of these guys. They had guys in the game just splashing threes all over the place for OKC towards the end of that. Look, Luka can't. It's impossible, I think, for him to play worse than he played the other night in terms of a stat line. He's not gonna have 19 points again and 7 dimes or whatever it was. He's gonna play better tonight. But I think you're right about Irving, and that's where we'll start with the most bet player props for this game tonight. Kyrie at the top, Scotty, over 23.5 points. Gafford over 10.5 points. Gafford over 19.5 points, rebounds, assists. Jalen Williams under 1.5 threes, and Aaron Wiggins over 8.5 points and rebounds. He's one of those guys who was splashing all those threes in the fourth quarter the other night.
Yeah, I love Kyrie over. I'll give you Gafford over. I'll stay off of that PRA, though. I'll go over on J. Will. I'm not going to get involved in Wiggins for that matter. I'm going to go give me Dort over points, rebounds. Give me Giddey over points, assists. Give me Shea Gilgeous over PRA. How about a Shea Gilgeous trip dub tonight?
I could see that. I'm going to what I've been sticking with the OKC games. I've hit him in a few. I've missed him in a few. But I like playing the Holmgren for 3 threes. It's usually about plus 250. Yeah. I like playing the Chet. He had the one night he got it for me in the first quarter. So last night he missed it. He didn't get over the 1.5. But I'm going to go for 3 for Chet tonight at plus 250. That'll be my player prop.
Give me him over. Give me him over points, rebounds, and blocks as well.
Yeah, get the blocks for the big fella cooking there tonight. So big game 2 in OKC. The Timberwolves and the Nuggets, Scotty, will not get back together until tomorrow night. Of course, they haven't played since Monday. Yesterday, you had some of the fallout from that miserable game that they played at home. Jamal Murray throwing the heating pad onto the floor. He did get a fine from the NBA, did not get a suspension. Here's Murray yesterday at practice, Scotty. Let's just say he didn't want to talk about the incident from a couple of nights ago in game number 2.
It is what it is, and I take everything for responsibility, so on to the next.
Was it just your frustration boiled over? Is that what happened?
Yeah, on to the next. I mean, there's not much, 2 days ago, not much for me to say about it right now.
Were there any conversations that you had with people or anything just to kind of like apologize or whatever, maybe take a switch?
Do you have any basketball questions? No.
No basketball questions. No.
Okay, so I thought he acted like an absolute immature little brat on the bench, throwing things on the floor. Like, you know, fans throw things on the floor, they get arrested. Fans throw things on the floor, they're thrown out of the arena. This guy throws things on the floor. Are you kidding me? A player actually in an NBA playoff game throws a heating pack on the floor at players' feet, right at their ankles, right at their feet where they could slip and blow out a knee and Achilles. I think it was egregious. I think it was terrible what he did. And I thought he, was very immature about it after the fact. And he probably doesn't like that $100,000 fine, but he deserved that and more. He deserved to be suspended for a game at least. I cannot believe that they let him off with just a fine, and then he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't like talking about it. You know what I've learned about Jamal in the last few days is that Jamal doesn't like losing, and he takes his ball and goes home to his mommy when things don't go his way. Jamal grew up at the participation tournament where everyone gets a little pin on their uniform and a little trophy to go home with. I don't come from that side of the river. I come from the side of the river of you lose, go home and cry, you little weasel. Honestly, that just looked like a guy that was a spoiled brat. He didn't like the way things were going, so he started chucking things on the court. You got to be effing kidding me.
Yeah, look, I think it's a team, Scotty, that obviously over the last year and a half, they're not used to losing, and they're not used to being put in the kind of position that they were put in at home over those first 2 games. And look, Murray was no good. I mean, Malone's screaming at everybody. He's going nuts on the floor, screaming in the ref's face. They got a little bit of a crossroads for the first time in the last couple of years. And I'm interested to see how they come out tomorrow night after a bunch of days off to think about it and if they can get themselves back in this series. I'll give you the numbers for that when we come back.
Mike, I think they're going down. I think they're one and done. I think their championship is a one and done. And the best thing that'll ever happen in Denver is that Joker got 3 MVPs in 4 years and they only got 1 chip out of it.
you got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvin Ham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
What are those series odds on Minnesota and Denver? They're going to the target now, and I think the T-Wolves have to be feeling really good about themselves. They're flat out playing better than Denver. Easy wins.
They certainly are, Scotty, as we look at these series odds now. Minus 550 as they shift to Minneapolis. Tomorrow night will be game number 3, plus 4 Bills if you think the Nuggets can win 4 of the next 5 and keep their defense of the NBA title alive. I don't have a lot of hope for him, Scotty. I don't have a lot of hope for him. I think I only keep the slither of hope because they have Joker. I think that's the only thing that kind of keeps me in this for them. But with the way if Minnesota keeps playing like they did in the first 2 games, they're going to smoke them.
Well, I think for me, the fact that they have 2 giant 7-footers that give Joker problems in the paint is all you need to know. It's a 2-headed monster. It's not one guy. And frankly, I think Gobert can stop him on his own. I mean, he's just affecting his game, his shot, his drive. He's not going to the 10. He's just standing out above the free throw line, trying to be a point guard, knowing that he can't do anything inside against these guys. He's not taking it in the low block. He's not rebounding. He's not doing anything. They're getting their ass beat. And they got Gobert back. He's back. The baby was born. He did it. He stayed at home with his wife. What a lovely human being. I would have gone back to Denver for the game, as you know. But he stayed, and he's the man of the year, Christian of the year. Congratulations. Now he's home. He'll probably be rewarded with a giant game. I'm starting to think they're going to sweep him.
I'm starting to think that way as well with the way that they played. I have some breaking news off of the wire for you, Scotty, that just came through the newsroom here, along with the NBA. And that is we have another head coach who gets chopped.
What?
We saw Darvin Ham get chopped last week, of course, by the Lakers. Today we have Frank Vogel chopped in Phoenix. So it was all his fault. We kind of knew it, right, when that kind of all got ended and Beal knocked his hand away and nobody said any nice things about him. But Frank Vogel are going to dismiss. The Suns dismissed him. He won 49 games, swept by the Timberwolves. Woj says here Mike Budenholzer will be the prominent part of the search. As far as it goes for this
listen,
job.
Frank Vogel, if I'm Frank, I start thinking about college basketball because he really is a good coach. And in the NBA, he gets fired every time he gets a job, like by the year end. He does every single job he takes. I'll give him this. I mean, he keeps signing 4- and 5-year deals. So who's the sucker? I've always believed that if you get a 4-year deal and they fire you after one, I've been in that situation. I really enjoyed the 3 years of paychecks every 2 weeks when I sat on my ass and got all that free money. So here's what I would do if I'm him. I'd go coach college because I think the NBA has screwed him enough times. And here's another thing. I am so sick and tired of hearing about Mike Budenholzer being the head of every single job search, and he never gets any of them. Can we just stop with the Budenholzer? Like every job is Mike Budenholzer's to lose. I mean, has that not gotten boring for anybody yet? Like they hired a guy, Charles Lee. I mean, I thought that guy was in my bowling league, and I don't bowl.
Ooh.
I don't even know. You saw, didn't he get the job in? Where did he get the job in Charlotte? I think they hired him.
Got the Charlotte job. Yes, Charles Lee is going to be the new head coach.
He's doomed. He's doomed. Congratulations. I hope you got a lot of money out of it because you're doomed.
Listen, we could go over this all day with the coaches. It's never the players' fault. These guys last a year, 2 years now. We're going to do Keith later with the hockey too with Toronto. Like it's never the players' fault.
Charles Lee has a better chance of winning the Wells Fargo in Charlotte after not playing the first round than he does of surviving as the coach of the Hornets.
He's got no shot of having success in Charlotte as the head coach of the Hornets. He's got no shot. That's just unfortunately the way.
Is there anything worse than these guys hiring like no names? Is there anything worse than teams hiring assistants thinking that this guy's the next Pat Riley? Is there anything worse in pro sports?
Where's the creativity? Find a little creativity. Give me somebody.
It was bad enough. I don't know where you want to go. It was bad enough that they hired Steve Clifford again. Like honestly, they're embarrassing that franchise. I don't care what anybody says.
They are. We'll come back. You got Coach next, and then I'll give you the rest of the stuff later on this hour.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked to have the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Does Dame get frustrated? Miserable year in Milwaukee. Does he ask out? Does Giannis ask out? Well, you ain't got no one else to trade. Middleton makes a ton of money, old. Bobby Portis makes a ton of money, old. Brook Lopez makes a ton of money, old. Pat Connaughton's going to give you nothing in trade value. So to me, watch Milwaukee. Folks, this could be the end of the Bucks dynasty.
Betting above the rim, only SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort
Night.
Of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. The brighter the lights, the bigger the stakes. Hunt or be hunted. Know your prey. This is a whole new jungle. This is The Lion's Share. Brought to you by BetMGM.
Check out the new betting market for the NHL playoffs that you can only get at BetMGM. They have empty net goal markets for entire slates as well as specific games. Find them in the app under the NHL tab. Then the props tab. You can also find the specific game markets under each game along with the NHL props tab. As you know, Coach bets a lot of money and spends a lot of time watching hockey these days. He loves the NHL. He's become a Ranger fan instantaneously. Between the Rangers and the Knicks, he loves the Garden. Coach Young is here for the lion's share. We'll start with Vogel's firing. You're very mad about the owner. You just said that he should be fired.
Who is this Matt Ispia? I know he made money on mortgages or whatever, but I'll tell you what, he ain't going to make no money in basketball world because this guy spends his money like a drunken sailor. It's like Monopoly. He just wants to buy everything up. The problem is that things don't fit. So what does he do? He comes in, he's got his team, they go get Kevin Durant. Okay, I get you. You empty the coffers. Then you go get Bradley Beal because you think you can put Devin Booker as the point guard. Devin Booker, who has good assist numbers, fools you guys because of the fact that CP3 was out and he got good numbers. He's not a facilitator. So what do? You go get Bradley Beal. You bring in Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel can't win with this team. Frank Vogel asked you for a point guard. He didn't give you a point guard. Frank Vogel needs depth. He doesn't have depth. So you mean to tell me out of all those guys, right? And I'm not counting KD's 2 rings that he won with Golden State because he joined a team that already was winning and was supposed to win the year before when he won 73 games. So don't count those 2 rings that KD got with Steph Curry. How many rings those guys got? How many times has Devin Booker choked in a big spot? I see you, NBA Finals versus Milwaukee. Oh, Bradley Beal. How many times have you been out of the first round, brother? How many times have you won in the playoffs? How many times have you played 70 games in a season? So now they throw Frank Vogel under the bus. So now you go, Monty wants Frank Vogel. Like, if you're a coach, do you want to go coach this team? Because all of a sudden, you're going to get blamed for everything. They got their first-round draft pick this year and 2031. Who the hell are they trading for? And you want to run it back with these 3 guys? Matt Ispia, I got an idea. James Jones actually was doing a good job until you showed up. I got this great plan. Trade Kevin Durant. Trade him. Get rid of him and get what you can and rebuild it around Devin Booker. Don't trade Devin Booker because you can't rely on Beal and Durant to carry you with their old age. And definitely don't think you're getting anything for Bradley Beal, who's the biggest gangster in NBA because he got the bag from DC, got traded, and has a no-trade clause, so he's not going anywhere. I'm done.
They can't even trade him if they tried. He runs the team now. But what about Vogel? Is he going to continue to get NBA head coaching jobs and get fired every time he coaches for 1 year? Like, he's getting fired now more than anybody in the league.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not saying Frank Vogel did a great job here, folks. Let's be honest. But who's going to go there, Ferrall? Like, you're gonna have to convince a coach, a good coach, that you're going to keep these 3 guys, have no depth, and be able to compete with Minnesota, who's young and could run and could defend. OKC, who's young, that could run and can defend. Dallas, who's got 2 premier scorers, and Luka and Kyrie. I think you look at New Orleans, if they trade B.I. and they get Zion healthy, they could run you out of the gym. Memphis could be better if Ja just puts the guns away and they actually stay healthy for a change, right? Sacramento, they flamed out. They have Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter. They're deeper and they're better than you. So you're going to keep these 3 guys and you're going to run it back? You better start thinking long-term and not short-term, Matt Ispia.
One of the great things that I have going on in my life is that I could give a rat's ass about the Phoenix Suns and all of their problems. I feel very good about that. Let's talk about Coach's lion's share snags for tonight. He's got a lot of them. So let's start at the top with the Celtics game. And you're going what way with the Celtics here?
I'm going to take their team total over 113.5. I know they had that 105-104 loss that they had versus Cleveland at the end of the regular season. But remember, folks, they were up by 22, 24 points, and they just let off the gas. This is a team, Boston, that could score in so many ways. They got 120 points, and Jason Tatum was awful. But you look at the way that Tatum could score, that Brown could score, that Holiday can get you buckets. Derek White has been arguably one of the 5 best players in the playoffs so far. And then the bench guys, Ferrall, they could score. The question is, I don't want to take the over because I don't know if Cleveland can keep up. Give me over 113.5 for the C's.
Yeah, like Hauser and Pritchard, every time they're on the floor, they put in buckets too. And Pritchard almost reminds me of McConnell, the way he hustles and plays and makes things happen and shakes it out. What about Spida? You got a ticket on Spida this evening.
By the way, speaking of McConnell, hey, Rick Carlisle, why don't you play him the last 7 minutes of the game, you knucklehead, instead of complaining about the 78 calls?
You big dummy.
You 78 times. Yeah, you know what? You big dummy. I agree with that. Thank you, Ferrall, for reminding me about your big dummy award. Now, let's go back to Spider. Folks, I'm going to try something here. I'm going to go Spider, 4+ made threes at plus 140. If you look at Spider Mitchell, he has hit this in 6 of the last 7 times he has played against Boston. Ready for this, folks? I think I looked at every game that he's played with Cleveland versus Boston. He's averaged over 10.5 3-point attempts. I think it's like 75, 76 3-point attempts in the last 7 games. He's going to get the shot volume. He just got to make the shots. 4+ made threes for Spider at plus 140.
And what about JB43?
JB don't pass, but I think he may have to pass tonight. Under in 9 out of his last 15 games. I absolutely get you. But when you look at head-to-head, 7 of his last 8, Ferrall, he's gotten over 2.5 assists. Crazy thing, Ferrall, is every time it's been 4+. I think he does a better job passing because he got going offensively game 1. Someone else does it. I think you get a better game out of Jason Tatum. Give me JB over 2.5 assists.
All right, what about the Mavs and Thunder and OKC?
I'm going to take the over in this game, over 218.5. Why do you think that, folks? Because the majority of the time they do play to the over in this game, and I think here's the thing. You're going to get a better Luka tonight. I mean, you can't get any worse. The guy's only 5 for 35 from three-point land in the last 4 games. He's dragging himself up and down the floor. He's going to be better tonight, Ferrall. I think everybody's going to be better. I expect to track me, kind of like I expected last night with the Knicks game. I think you could get to 230 tonight.
How about he plays worse? Tim Hardaway Jr., you got him on a ticket. I'm hearing that his dad is going to play in place of him because Jr. sucks so bad.
Ferrall, it's amazing that Tim Hardaway Jr., his points prop is 5.5 points. And I'm like, I got to take it. Why, folks? Because 5 out of the last 7 games versus OKC, he's done it. I know he's just coming off of an injury with the ankle and he rolled it again in practice. But, folks, do you know that he hit this 61 out of 71 times this year? Like, the guy is a bucket. All he's got to do is shoot the ball. And if I think this is going to be over, Dallas has to get some kind of bench production. That bench production comes from Tim Hardaway Jr. 5.5 points. I got to go to the window and take that.
And what about Giddy Kitty?
Oh, Ferrelli, we getting giddy with it. Just getting giddy with it. Josh Giddey, folks, over 12.5 rebounds plus assists. Oh, my God, they let him shoot. But here's the guy. Ferrall, 12 out of the last 15 games he's gone over this. If you look at it, 5 out of the last 7. He only had 4 in game number 1. I expect him and everybody else to play better. Bigger spot, he'll be fine. 12.5 points, he'll probably get you 5, 6, maybe 4, 5, 6 assists. He gets a couple of buckets here and there, something out in transition. Give me Giddy Kitty over 12.5 points.
Will OG miss both games in Indy?
I think he misses both. I will say this, though. I think the Knicks find a way to steal game 4. Game 3, forget about it. Indiana should run them out of the building. The problem with Indiana is they can't kill leads because they can't play defense.
I thought they could have won both games at the Garden, but they didn't, and I think they can win both games at home. Thanks, Coach.
The Lion's Share, presented by BetMGM.
Torrey Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit.
He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze is not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also it's a great pick to have the Bears as the winner.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Giannis not available. So, what is that, a 6-year window? He's been injured in, he's been injured in 4 of the last 5 playoffs, Coach?
And he can't close games because he can't shoot. And he's not healthy. At some point, people need to look at Giannis and say, great player? Don't tell me all the time great.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Game Time had 35 in the first half, Cam. And then, of course, he did not have another point the rest of the game.
Lillard's, it's playoff game time. This guy will show up. He will hit shots. Indiana, you better respond here because I'll tell you, that's a bad loss. We were wrong, Carver. Like, hey, I admit, I was on the Pelicans. This game, I lost.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
You can catch Davis Maddock on Coast to Coast every day. He's the host of Fantasy Sports Today with Scoop Mish on Saturdays. You can follow him on X at Davis Maddock, Mattek. Davis, I want to start with Mizuhara, that he copped a plea deal. And, on top of the fact, like, he's still facing, like, almost 50 years. Like, this guy's, I don't care what kind of deal you got, what kind of plea deal you have. It's like they lowered it from how much money he stole, but he's still got this enormous number of years he's facing in Fed. I don't know what's worse, that or the fact that they are already, Lionsgate is already making a movie out of Mizuhara robbing Ohtani of all this money for his gambling problem. It's already being made, a movie about this. That's how quick this story is turning into TV viewing for everyone.
I mean, look, I'll probably go see that movie. That sounds like a fun 108-minute long movie, Scotty. I think I'll probably be in attendance for that one. Now, here's the deal. You take a plea deal because you know that something worse is on the table. My guess would be this plea deal probably pretty good. And also, I do wonder, I mean, at the very back of my mind, I can't, do we think Major League Baseball and Shohei's people, they were like, hey, buddy, take the plea deal. We don't want this to go to trial. We don't want discovery. We don't want, 900-page legal briefs coming out about what Ohtani does and doesn't know. Now, my guess is, again, at the end of the day, like, Ohtani probably was, like, truly blameless here. But, if you're taking the plea deal, you know that something worse is on the table for sure.
Well, I mean, don't you usually get a plea? I mean, at some level, if you're rolling on someone, I don't understand.
True.
I don't really understand why he's getting a plea deal at all with what he's done. I mean, the bottom line is he's done everything from bank fraud to mail fraud to embezzlement to money laundering to what hasn't he done? I don't understand why they're giving him a deal. I really, but seriously, I thought like they were going to throw the book at this guy and he's going to go away for 60 years. And instead, they're giving him this candy ass plea deal. I don't understand it, frankly, at all.
I mean, he is going to be ordered to pay full restitution to Shohei. Now, how is he going? Maybe the selling the rights to his life story is how he ends up paying.
He's
paying
OJ.
restitution.
He'll never pay a penny of it back.
He'll never
get
pay a penny. You're right though. I mean, you normally, if you do get a plea deal, normally it is. I mean, either your lawyer knows someone, right? I mean, maybe that's the deal. Maybe he hired a really good lawyer and the DA or the feds or whatever owes this lawyer a favor. That's always possible. Or maybe, I mean, look, we do know from the initial documents that were released, I mean, this guy does know big time illegal bookmakers, guys who are violating the Federal Wire Act daily for millions of dollars. So look, I mean, anything's possible.
That might be the key to this, is that we don't know that he's rolling on that bookie in California, and that guy's so deep in casinos with crime that's who they're after in the end. We'll see. What did you think of Chris Sale's performance against his old team?
I mean, I thought that it's pretty much exactly what the doctor ordered, right, for the Atlanta Braves. He was awesome, 10 strikeouts against his old team, only 1 walk. He got 17 swinging strikes. Actually, only and how about this for Chris Sale? Back-to-back games, over 100 pitches for Chris Sale. You know, look, I said when Strider went down, you know, real problems for the Atlanta Braves here. Like, what are they going to do when Sale gets hurt? And I don't know, man. He looks pretty freaking good for them right now.
Yeah, he hasn't got hurt, and it is amazing. I know it's Saturday, but I'm looking forward to seeing Skeens come up for the Pirates and face the Cubs.
Oh, big! I cannot wait. I was bummed out that the news came out when I was on with Carver High yesterday and not with you, because I knew that hearing Skeens coming up, that would have been the best part of your week. Yeah, I absolutely can't wait. I think he is gonna shove when he gets up to the major leagues.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun to watch him pitch and see if he can keep this up, like throwing this gas that he throws, if that's, you know, reality, or are we just tripping? Like that it's, you know, because he throws so hard and he's so on. You wonder how long that can last before his arm falls off. I can't wait to see what he's like at this level and how long it'll last. Like, it's kind of like Garrett Cole when you think about it. Garrett Cole was the same thing for the Pirates, a star draft pick that had gas. And then, of course, the Pirates let him go. And you saw what he did in Houston. And then he won a Cy Young with the Yankees. All right, let's take a look at your plays for tonight. It looks to me like you're not getting off the Thunder anytime soon.
No, I really thought that the Mavericks would give them a harder game in game one. I had the under in that game, but yeah, Luka is going to have to feel it out a little bit against Dort and Jalen Williams. He's also being bothered by that knee. You know, the trademark Luka Doncic shot is the step back three, but when Lou Dort is in your jockstrap, it's pretty hard to get that shot off. So I wonder if we see a little bit more of Kyrie tonight.
I do too.
Kleba has been out. That's a pretty big deal for them because it means Lively has to play like 30 minutes. He can't buy a bucket on offense. I am on Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I said earlier, Kyrie's got to have 35 or 40 tonight if they really want to get real here, because something's clearly wrong with Luka Doncic. And it's more than just Dort. It's more than just the Thunder. It's his knee. He's got issues with his body, and he looks shot. You like Waka on the road in Anaheim tonight and the Royals?
I do like Waka on the road tonight. I mean, look, the Royals are just a much better team than the Angels. The Angels' whole lineup, Scotty, it's all guys that are like, wait, that guy's still in baseball? Mickey Moniak? What do we do? It's like the whole lineup is a joke. The Royals, I mean, Waka's been a pretty inspired free agent signing. I'm on the Royals tonight.
And the Brew Crew at home?
Brew Crew at home. I feel like this is a good spot. They're getting a little bit there, and I'm fading the Sonny Gray NL Cy Young narrative. I mean, the St. Louis Cardinals. You want to talk about an organization going in a wrong direction? The St. Louis Cardinals.
Nice price on the Brewers tonight as a dog at home if they get it done for you. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Davis.
you got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
How about a little more Joker? What do you got for me?
Well, look, the Joker won his third MVP award yesterday, Scotty. Congrats to him. They'll play tomorrow night, et cetera, et cetera. He had all the standard stuff in the press conference. I'm gonna play until I don't think I'm good anymore. He did have one good moment. They asked him about both MVPs possibly being in the city of Denver. Of course, himself and Nathan McKinnon from the Colorado Avalanche. Let's just say, Sky, I didn't know this. Joker, hockey guy maybe. Can we get him on some skates? Let's find out.
But I love the sport, first of all, and I love even being a fan. Like when I'm going to the games, I'm a fan of the Avalanche, and I think it's really cool to be part of something that it's. I think they're building the same way as the Nuggets in some way. And they're trusting their players, and they're trusting Nathan, and he's playing good. And he's really fast on those skates. It's really, really fast, right? And I'm really, because I don't know how to skate, and how physical, how much energy is in the when they play. It's much better in live than when you watch it on TV.
Yeah,
I mean, like us.
Listen, I will say that I will never forget, as long as I live, hopefully, the first game I ever went to in the NHL. And it won me over so dramatically that, I have been in love with the sport for 50-some years, and I did NHL play-by-play for a year. It doesn't matter that I didn't do it more than a year. I didn't like it, but I still love the game. I loved everything about the NHL. I didn't like that grind. They didn't like me. Have at it. I've had 5 billion people hate me over the years. I'm used to that. It's always funny to me when I get hired and then they know exactly what they're getting and then they don't like it when they got it. It's so funny to me. I've always found that fascinating. But the NHL, the first time I ever went to a game live, that was all she wrote. Like, it was hook, line, and sinker for me. Like, I was done. I mean, I went from never going to a hockey game in my life to going to 41 plus games a year every year for the rest of my life. I still go to hockey games. So does Carver High. The Joker's right. Live is not Memorex. It is so much better live than on television. It's not even funny. I think they've advanced it on television to levels I've never seen before. I think it's fantastic what they do on television now with hockey. But at the same time, it's still better live. And frankly, it's better live without all the broadcasters and all the TV BS and all the intermissions and all the sideline, whatever you want to call them, in between the benches reporter. There's nothing better than going with your friend and just drinking and watching the game and watching the hits and the fights and the shots and the fans. It's a great experience. It's better than the NBA live. Way better.
Stop interviewing the coaches on the bench
No,
during
it's
the game.
awful.
It's a complete waste of time. And yes, you're right. You never forget your first hockey game that you go to live. I still remember my dad taking me 1986, the old Nassau Coliseum, Islanders, Canadians. I remember who they played. I remember going to the game. It was the end of the dynasty, obviously. You still had some guys there those couple years after, but you don't forget it.
The first game I ever went to was to watch Mark Johnson play after the Olympics in 1980 when the Penguins had him. And that was the first game I ever saw. And then the line, when I used to listen to Mike Lang, Bullard over to Kehoe, right slot over to McLeish. I have been saying that line on my own, even in my car by myself. I said it the other day. I'm like, Bullard over to McLeish, right side. All I know is that guy won me over. Penguins won me over. The sport won me over. I love the game. I think some of the people in it are cheesy. But other than that, like if I just cut out the cheese and just watch the game, I love it. But I do give credit to several people, as you know. Like I have said to you on a number of occasions, I think Bob Wischusen is fantastic calling hockey games.
Right.
And I never knew that until I got a dose of it. Like, I really think he stands out above all others that I've heard on television calling games. No disrespect to anyone. I got a lot of friends that call games that are broadcasters in the NHL. And I hate to say it, Bob's better than all of you.
I think of this new crop. Bob is at the top along with, and maybe I'm a little partial, but I think Brendan Burke does a great job.
Brendan Burke's great, and you're a homer, but he is great. You're a homer, but he is great, like I am for Mike Lang. Those are both homerized milquetoast calls by you and me. I think nationally, Bob's the man now.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
They have a former executive that they claim was stealing proprietary information from them and passing it along. Initially, it looks like DraftKings is on the right side of this.
They were really heated about what they said, that he left the company right before the Super Bowl, allegedly took all this confidential information with him about the most important customers, the bettors that spend the most with the company.
Newswire. Only